I will start speaking about the administration, basically, of Spain, whether it exists or not. I will try to explain the situation as it is. It's a bit difficult for me because I am not a number person at all, but I am interested in clarifying this kind of aspects, so I do my best. The only that I know, or that we know, the only legal association in Spain that exists at the moment is Mudrian País Vasco, and this is managed by Leire. But also, to be honest, we don't know how active is this association, or maybe Yuma can help with this. But well, Leire wrote to us a message explaining some things. She basically said that the association carried so many work to maintain it that they basically decided not to use it anymore. That's more or less
just existing as a name.
Yeah, exactly. It's a name, but they are not really using it because it takes a lot of work, like papers, numbers, and they are not using it. And she also said, as Yuma mentioned now, that the Association of País Vasco should not be used for things that have not been done there in País Vasco, in that area.
Why? Because she's doing the now the Ibiza thing, because we didn't have anybody to receive the money, and she's doing it, and it was an Ibiza.
Yeah, but she said it was not a good idea for her because
She never told me that. Because what?
Because I don't know if I have enough information, honestly. Because it's like, yeah, because it takes like, it's like if she receives money that is not for her, and this is something I will explain. That is basically what happens to me. So maybe I think it's
no, but legally, if an association makes project, they make project wherever they want in the country. Why is it they cannot make the project out of their...
The thing is that it was not something managed by País Vasco, by Leire, so it was something that originated profit in another part of the country. And as an association as she is, without profit, she has, as in Italy, to balance costs and benefits.
Yes, but
so you
the
don't
money
have
that comes in is the same gets out.
Yes, but this is creating a movement in the figures of the association, which is not justified.
And
so
which
this is creating, I guess this is the problem.
Yeah.
You're not very. But
If
anyway,
you want,
she
I
was
can explain
complaining
later.
about
and there are movements in her bank account.
Yes.
So I guess this is like
They are not
no?
justified, and they have been
become
now
suspicious.
they are being controlled
Ma
by
dico adesso.
the financial system in Spain.
Wait a minute.
So you can get into troubles. Okay.
Yes, if you have an income, you have to justify why you had this income, and then you have to have an outcome. Otherwise, you had to have an outcome.
Excuse me, just to explain to me so I try to understand. If an association sells a show to a theater, the theater gives, imagine, 500 euros for the show. And the 500 euros were used anyway to pay everything that was needed. Does not the association have the right to do that?
It depends. Yes, of course. It depends if you have all the legal paper that justify the expenses.
In this case, everything is legal. The theater asks for the facture, the theater pays the facture, and all the money that was out to pay for the artist to go and everything is the same amount of money.
And all the artists had a paper to justify the
Yes,
payment.
Haji is legal. He's just in this case not being paid because all the money that was in is just enough to pay his trip and what he's doing.
No, because very often what happens is that when you make a show, mostly you have to pay like contribution and taxes for artists. At least in Italy, it's like that. And so if you do it, if you don't do it, it's penal responsibilities also.
The,
So.
the taxes.
Yes. And the movement of money that you create
in your account.
in your account also at the moment at least, and will be even more in the future, controlled. So you have to be very careful about that.
So this could be mainly the reason why there is this and other reasons why there is no Spanish association as a whole. It's also because in Spain there are different people doing different activities in different places. So maybe the best solution would be that each place would have their own association, each city has its own association, and of course we work together, we collaborate, but try to be as legal as possible, I thought. In the specific case of Catalonia, to be very specific, we can talk about ourselves. Basically now in Catalonia there is Negra, Laura and myself working in Danza Duende projects connected to Danza Duende, because the group in Girona is not active anymore, or we are not sure about that either. So there is a lagoon, a lack of communication here as well. So this is something that really needs to be clarified.
Why don't you say about it clearly?
Well, I don't know much, so.
You know, don't you?
Well, I don't know all the details because it was never possible to clarify all the details.
Nobody understands.
Nobody knows
nobody
what
understood.
happened.
But they don't know anything,
Yeah,
so maybe
okay,
you could
okay.
say names. And,
Okay, so at the beginning, say Danza Duende Spain was very active in Catalonia, especially in the closest part, well, in Girona, in this part, and in País Vasco, which has always been very, very active. And the people taking care of Danza Duende Catalonia were Gata, Dori, and Ruth mainly, plus the collaboration of other people with another school of dance in Austria. And at that moment, it was really blooming. Danza Duende was really blooming. There was a lot of interested in people. So in a way, there was also an interest from Gata to organize things there, and she was a sort of reference for us.
and
Of course,
she was fighting for that.
Yeah, she really
It's not working.
she really tried to bring all the activities to Girona in a way. So she tried to organize the work with Raji and Yuma and the level as well. She began to organize the level 2
And a company.
and the company.
And
Okay.
Warrior Dandy.
Yes, and and a lot of stuff. And okay, and then all of a sudden she just decided that she didn't want to be there anymore. And it was right in the middle of the organization of level 2 in Catalonia.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, the first one. But I never had any answer, any explanation, and I don't know Yuma.
They
We
just said
tried,
they wanted to take
yeah.
their time, and they suddenly let us like
Yes.
that.
And it's very strange for us. I mean, also on an energetic level, it's very difficult this one because we had worked together in very deep, profound ways together with Gata, Dori, and Ruth. We had all the Dakini training together, and this was really building something very, very deep for us. So the fact that she and also Dori and Ruth decided to just disappear was very difficult.
So we have the feeling that there has not been heritage, as
Yes.
the Brussels team were talking
Yes.
about.
Yes.
There is not this sense of transmission.
Mhm. So you
So
can
we are
always
like, okay,
take
we take
distance.
over. We are
So
happy to
we
take
don't-
over, but
Can I say what happened? At that time when this happened, I told Catalonia, you know, either we keep the project in Catalonia, either I can very easily put it in Brussels, I don't care. And they said, no, we will save the project and we will do it. And so since then, we're a little bit like floating because they were able to do it very well. But actually, last year when we did again the second time the level 2, I mean more than 50% of the students were coming from France and Belgium, and
Yes.
not from at all Spain.
And this is basically a mirror of the situation in Spain. Spain is undergoing a huge crisis. There's no money, basically. Well, there's no money is not true. There's not money where it should be.
It's true.
It's a very big crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People in general in Spain, they do not move in the country. I mean, for me, as I see it as an Italian, it's quite interesting to see how it works. And the perception is that Spain is a very vast territory, and it's divided into communities. And every community functions as a state. And there's a very strong identity, and it's existing. And people do not travel, or not all of them, but it's very difficult to have people traveling in Spain. Almost impossible to have Spanish people traveling abroad. Not only because of economic reasons. I don't know why. It's just a fact as it is. So evidently there was not the energy there, for sure, sustaining the project from a Spanish point of view. And okay, so the main participation was from Belgium, was from France.
Yeah.
And okay, and I
There
guess
is-
it's going to be that way.
And this is one of
Also play.
the goals for us in 2016. We want to find the way to create a community around our work and around Danza Duende. We need to be more solid on that, but we don't know if this is going to be possible. This is not going to be possible actually in a short term. So now we are talking about the organization of next retreat this next summer in Arcadia, and well, we need to talk about the situation.
Sorry, can I ask, Cristina Marriga is not in Catalonia?
Yes,
Yes, she's
Ah,
in
okay.
Barcelona.
but she's also in some kind of
Okay,
break.
no, just to
And
understand
the
geographic.
babies, each time
Yes.
women have babies, it stops the thing.
Yes.
That's basically
Yes.
that's basically the
Always.
main reason because why I personally, Desiree, became very active in Danza Duende without any kind of solid training, and now this is also my personal goal to be more, to go deeper in the training because I need it, because I'm so involved that it's like okay. So coming back to the administration thing, and not to be quite specific, for example, last year we organized level 2 in Arcadia, and I was in charge of organizing it, but I myself said, okay, I do not want to receive any money in my bank account, because if I receive the reservations like 4,000 euros, and then the money is not for me, and I have to pay it somebody else. I mean, at the end of the year, I have to
Yes.
make all my papers, and on top of that, I am a freelancer. I have other professional activities, so not connected
Yes.
at all with retreats or this and that. So it would become like a serious money problem for me. So I said, okay, I want to be in charge. I do it, but I don't want to receive the money in my account.
And Arcadia didn't want that.
And Arcadia didn't want either. I mean, well, there is the possibility that, yeah. So there was another person involved. She's Rosa Marco. She has been part of the network of Danza Duende for several years. She is not anymore. And she said, okay, no problem. I don't want to organize it, but I can receive the money in my bank account. Okay, I was very clear. I said I don't want to do it, and I gave the reasons. She said, okay, I received the money. So that's how it worked. We organized everything. She was invited to come to level 2. She and I, we really had quite lots of conflicts during the organization. The communication was very difficult, and I wanted to kill her, really.
No, it was very difficult because she started to make a kind of a fixation negative on Desiree for no reason at all, and I was trying to deal with it from far away. It was very complicated.
Yeah, and I was like, what? Okay, so in the end she decided not to come, even though it would have probably been very good to have her.
5 minutes.
It would have been good to have her, but she didn't come, well, no, I guess it wouldn't have been good to have her. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no, don't.
It's okay.
Don't say that. You don't know.
I don't know. So when we were finishing the level 2, she started to send messages saying that she needed some kind of justification, she needed an invoice because she had been receiving the money, and now her lawyer was telling that it was not possible. So
Yeah, she just started to threaten me and Desiree and everything.
and well, in the end, the solution was talking to
Haji made a receipt.
okay, yeah. So
But it's true, don't do these things.
And she was
Yeah,
very
yeah,
aggressive.
it's true.
She was extremely aggressive.
Yeah, but it's a big problem.
it was a big problem, but okay.
And I think maybe it's important to say this. In this case, of course, I was not aware of what was going on, and I could have noticed. But also, this person met a boyfriend, and I think the boyfriend is the one that did this. You understand? So somebody from outside
Yeah.
started to,
Fire something up.
started to put something up.
Yeah, but the thing in itself, it's a problem for
Yeah,
a
of
person.
course.
So maybe
Yeah,
the
of
boyfriend
course.
told her and she didn't know, but it's important we are here for that. We
Yeah.
find
find
a
the
way.
solutions
Of course,
for that.
but as she's more than 30 years old, nobody checked why she's offering this. We didn't check, We thought she was big
Aware.
enough to
Yeah.
know what she's doing.
But I guess there are other problems
Yes,
there.
okay.
So as we need to find solutions clearly for this, so there might be different solutions, I guess. For example, my idea would be that if we organize a retreat, each person pays directly to Arcadia, and Arcadia makes an invoice for this person. So there is extra taxes. This could be, for example, a solution. There is extra tax, but it's a legal way. Another legal way would be, for example, as I am legal and I'm paying my taxes and everything, if people pay to me and I pay to Arcadia, Arcadia gives me an invoice, and at the same time, the teachers have to make an invoice to me. So I pay the teachers because all the money, I'm managing all the money, so I would need invoices from everybody to make it legal.
Can I I don't understand. I just heard Spain should make associations that are linked together. This is what we said. Wait, this is what actually we talked about in SERPA for not the last SERPA, but 6 years ago. We were supposed to do that. And now still there's not any in Catalonia.
Yes.
And so why is it there's not one to do all of this? This is my question.
The answer is that behind an association there is a responsible, and there is an economical responsible, and you still have to be a legal figure. There has to be somebody specifically who receives the money and pays the taxes and everything. So
And
even
nobody
though-
wants to do that.
no, I can do it. I mean, for now, I'm the only one who's legal and who's paying for the taxes. I can do it, but of course it has like extra expenses, extra work.
Yeah.
So it's something to
Just
It's a work.
to take into
Yeah,
account.
just say something.
It's a full-time job.
I
It's a
know,
full-time job,
yeah,
of course.
and of course there are European regulations, but then there are Spanish regulations, and then there are all the autonomic regulations of all the single communities in Spain, which are different. So if you are, as Desiree is, a freelancer, and if you want, for example, to have invoices as a freelancer and to work and to make profit. From the beginning, in Spain, you have to pay an amount of money which is very big.
280 euros per
Yes.
month.
No,
Yeah.
just for
Just
the
to be able to make an
huh?
invoice and to receive the money.
But then it's much more than that, because you cannot do all the stuff alone. So you have to pay a consultant to make all the paperwork. So it's a huge, and this
They want to
doesn't.
kill.
Yes, of course.
They want to kill.
Italy is the same.
Italy is the same. Yes.
If you don't earn money, you have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether
Italy
you make
is
money or
totally
not.
the same.
Okay. And apart from that, all the non-profit organization, yes, of course it exists, this aspect, but it works in a slightly different way. So it's not really, you have to work on a non-legal way to make profit, and it's a bit more difficult than in Italy. So we are trying to find a solution. On
Yeah.
that. We are working on that, and it's not easy.
For
So-
days, I mean, we need that so much. We need
Yes.
to be legal. It's something that we need to finish up. But
Yes.
we wanted to talk
Okay.
about more things, but this would be, I think,
Yeah.
really good remarks.
Yes, yes. Okay. Just saying that. So we are trying to find a solution, and to find a solution which is working. Okay. 5 minutes. According to the laws, and according also to the real profit, which at the moment Danza Duende as an activity is generating, which is very, very few. So every one of us, Desiree, myself, and Negra, we cannot think at the moment, as the situation is at the moment, to live. We really don't have sustainability to live with all the activities that are carried on under the umbrella of Danza Duende. So every one of us has other works, other activities, otherwise it would not be sustainable. This has been the situation so far. We hope that this can change, and the idea is really, Telis has been created for this reason, really, to sustain economically the net, and trying to merge money, with the fact that we have to live, about that we have to be free to be able to make choices and to live well, and the possibility also not to prostitute our essence. So
But Telis does not have a legal ground anyway.
of course no, it doesn't.
Not
But
yet.
this will be necessary. It will be. We have to do it.
They are
If
looking
you
for
want
things
to
like-
get in touch with, I don't know, the organization of events, or to get in touch with enterprises, or like that. So we'll have to find a solution in a way or another. I don't know which one is the solution at the moment, really. And also, in between us, what we are trying to do is trying to define roles, and to define roles and to have them, to define them in a flexible way, so that every one of us can take care of an aspect of the situation, without being too much obliged and compelled to stick to the part of the job that is taken care of. So with certain flexibility and possibility to breathe, and possibility to combine that with all the other activities that we have, which is not, of course, if you're not 100% there, you have to combine with all the rest.
And the babies.
And the babies, which is
Each time a baby is born.
yes. I mean, we have Leire, we just had 2 babies, one after the other, so she was out of the possibility for
Negra,
Cristina.
they all had 2 babies.
Yes.
Maria Jose?
Well, Maria Jose,
Long time ago.
they're grown up, but
She has many more in school.
yeah. Okay. So
I think, well, okay, we also had an idea
Yes.
that has not been put into practice, but it was to measure the time that we spend working in all these Danza Duende projects, because of course we have more or less, we have quite clear the value, the inner value of what we do, sometimes more, sometimes less, but we think it might be a good idea to measure it in a objective way according to how the society works. So maybe later we find a way to pay ourselves, because for all the time
You
that we
should pay
have.
me a lot.
Yeah.
I have been 24 hours a day for 11 years.
Then forget it. No, well, it is a proposal that we have amongst us, and
Yes.
we want to share it.
and of course to try to improve communication as well, which is a big point in Spain.
Yeah,
It's very difficult to get information from the people involved, and this is one of the goals for us as Danza Duende Barcelona. And then, as a proposal, this is something I've been thinking about since a few months. As we are the in-person Telis as rituals, I guess that there's I don't know, it's just a feeling, but I think this is also felt from other people, trying to create a ritual for money for us.
Yes. Please.
It's something I need to do for myself, and I will do all the experiments on myself, of course. I will be my personal guinea pig, but then I would like to, together with Negra and Desiree, to try and find a way to not demonizing money, not having this neurotic relationship with money. It's like with sex, it's the same thing. I mean, we want it, but we don't want it, but we're scared of. So, I don't know, I think it's an energy, so it's a way that we have to live with money so far. I mean, at the moment, the society is also functioning with money, so money can be neutral and can be used for very good things.
Money, money, money,
So,
money.
Did you look at SMART?
What is that?
Like in Belgium, and I know it's getting more international now. There is a kind of an interim office for artists and
No,
stuff.
they have problems. Do you know that?
When they're
Belgium government are trying to.
Bueno, no sabía de la necesidad
but
de
they're
un espacio
trying now to
físico.
make themselves like on European level. So I know they should also now exist in Spain and stuff, and it's maybe not the best.
okay,
because,
we
yeah,
just take
just
And we haven't spoken about the need that we feel of having a physical space.
which is
Yeah,
evidently
that is-
needed to
that's
develop
right.
something, because it is
where?
In Barcelona.
in Barcelona.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ah, ok. Non bisogna un po'.